6. Signs of a man's genuine love. Only real men do this. He didn't say I love you every day, but somehow, I never doubted it. You see, real love isn't always loud. It's not always wrapped in roses or big gestures or the kind of romance that fits neatly into a social media post. Sometimes, real love is silent, steady, unshakable. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself wondering if what you're experiencing is truly love? If the man in your life really loves you, or if you're just holding on to the idea of him? It's not an easy question. We've all been there, caught up in the whirlwind, in the potential, in the what-ifs. But here's the truth, most people won't tell you. A man can say all the right things, give you butterflies, make you feel wanted, and still not love you in the way that matters most. And then there are the quiet ones, the ones who don't always know how to say it, but they show up, again and again, when it counts. The ones who protect you with their silence, love you in the little things, and carry your heart like it's something precious. That kind of love is rare, but it's real. And today, I want to walk with you through something deeper than surface-level signs and recycled dating advice. We're going to talk about 6 signs, 6 deeply rooted, often overlooked signs of a man's true love, and not just any man. I'm talking about a real man, not one who loves when it's easy, not one who disappears when things get hard, but a man who has grown into himself, a man who knows what he wants and chooses you every single time. This isn't about fairy tales. This is about the kind of love that shows up in real life, in the hard times, in the small moments, in the everyday choices that reveal the truth. Because love, real love, isn't just something you feel, it's something you do. So whether you're in a relationship right now, reflecting on a past one, or still holding out hope for the kind of love you know you deserve, this message is for you. Take a breath, open your heart, and as we go through these 6 signs, I want you to do something important. Listen with both your ears and your gut, because deep down, you already know what love feels like. And by the end of this, I hope you'll walk away not just with clarity, but with courage. Clarity to see things for what they are, and courage to let go of anything less than the real thing. Let's begin. Sign number 1. He protects you, even when it's inconvenient. You can tell a lot about a man by the way he shows up when no one's watching. Not when the cameras are rolling, not when everything's going right, but when it's messy, complicated, uncomfortable. A real man, one who truly loves you, will protect you. Not just physically, not just when it's obvious, but emotionally, spiritually, even when it costs him something. And here's what that kind of protection really looks like. It's not about being macho or playing the hero. It's not about stepping in only when it's dramatic. It's about paying attention. It's about seeing you even when you're hiding the fact that you're tired, overwhelmed, or just quietly falling apart inside. He notices. He steps in when your voice shakes. He stands up for you, even when it's inconvenient, even when it means pushing back on friends, or family, or something within himself, even when it would be easier to stay silent, to stay comfortable. He won't let anyone disrespect you, not in public, not behind your back. And most importantly, he won't let himself disrespect you either. Now listen, this kind of protection isn't always flashy. It's often subtle, like walking you to your car even when it's late and he's tired, or texting you just to make sure you got home safe. It's checking in when you've been quiet for too long, not because he's nosy, but because he genuinely cares. I want to share a story with you. There was a woman, let's call her Maya. She had a boyfriend, Kevin. He wasn't the most expressive guy. He didn't post about her all the time. He wasn't the rom-com type. But every time she doubted herself, every time life knocked her down, Kevin was there. When Maya lost her job and went silent for days, Kevin didn't push her to snap out of it. He sat with her, in her silence, cooked for her, prayed with her. He made space for her emotions without trying to fix her. When her family criticized her behind her back, Kevin respectfully but firmly stood up for her. He didn't start a war, but he made it clear Maya wasn't alone. That's love. That's what protection looks like from a man who isn't just present, but invested. So ask yourself, do you feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally when he's around? Does his presence bring you peace? Or do you feel like you have to keep your guard up? Because a man who truly loves you won't be perfect, but he will protect you, even when it's not easy, even when it's inconvenient, even when it costs him something. And that brings us to the next sign. Sign number 2. He respects your opinion, even when he disagrees. Let's be real for a second. It's easy to nod along when someone agrees with you. It's easy to say, I support you when everything's in harmony. But what about when you see things differently? What happens when your opinion challenges his ego? That's where love is tested. A real man, a grown man, doesn't just hear you, he listens. And more than that, he respects your voice. He doesn't roll his eyes when you speak. He doesn't interrupt you, try to win the conversation, or make you feel small just because you're passionate. He's curious about what you think, even when it's not what he thinks, even when your perspective is uncomfortable for him to hear. You see, respect isn't about agreement. It's about value. It's about believing that your voice matters, even when it challenges his own. Let me give you a scenario. There's this couple, Sarah and Malik. Now Malik's a strong-minded guy. He's opinionated, sharp, and confident. And so is Sarah. One day, they were having a conversation about a big decision where to move next. Malik had his heart set on one city. Sarah, for several thoughtful reasons, wanted another. Instead of bulldozing the conversation, Malik paused. He asked questions. He listened. And then he changed his mind. Not because Sarah forced him to. Not because she cried or begged or gave an ultimatum. But because Malik respected her enough to see that she had a point. That kind of respect doesn't come from fear. It comes from love. Because love says, I may not agree with you, but I believe in your wisdom. I don't need to be right. I just want us to be aligned. Real love isn't a power struggle. It's a partnership. And in a partnership, both voices carry weight. So here's something to think about. Does he ask for your opinion and genuinely consider it? Does he see you as an equal or just someone to manage? Can you express a different point of view without feeling punished? Because if a man only loves you when you agree with him, he doesn't love you. He loves control. But when a man listens to you, even when it's hard, when he pauses to reflect, instead of reacting to defend, that's respect, that's maturity, that's love, and that's the kind of man worth holding on to. Sign number 3. He shows up consistently, not just when it's easy. Consistency, it's not sexy, it's not dramatic, but it's everything. You know what I'm talking about. We've all met someone who came in fast, hot, and full of promises. The texts were constant. The energy was magnetic. They said all the right things, until life got complicated. And then, they vanished. Here's what separates infatuation from love. Infatuation runs. Love remains. A real man, one who truly loves you, doesn't just show up when the sun's shining. He shows up in the rain, in the storm, in the long, boring days where there's nothing exciting going on. That kind of man. He doesn't just say, I'm here for you. He proves it. When you're sick and curled up on the couch, he's not grossed out. He's bringing you soup. When your anxiety flares up and you can't explain why you're shutting down, He doesn't make it about him. He gives you space and checks in gently. When life throws curveballs, job loss, family drama, personal failure, he doesn't distance himself. He leans in. There's this story I think about often. A woman named Talia went through one of the worst years of her life. She lost her job. Her father passed away. And she started struggling with depression. And her boyfriend, Aaron, he could have made excuses. Could have said it was too much. Could have backed away slowly, the way many do when things stop being fun. But he didn't. He sat with her, in the quiet, in the darkness. He didn't try to fix her, he just stayed. He got her groceries, helped her pay bills when she was struggling. He encouraged her to talk to someone, gently, patiently. One day, she asked him, "Why are you still here?" And he said, "Because I don't just love the good days. I love you." That right there, that's it. Anyone can show up on day one. But the real ones show up on day 101, day 501, when the butterflies are gone and life is heavy. They don't need excitement to stay committed. And that's what love really is. It's not found in grand romantic gestures, it's built in quiet, repetitive actions. A phone call at the end of a long day, a check-in when he knows you're stressed, a random hug when you didn't even say you needed one. So ask yourself honestly, is he consistent? Does he show up when things are boring, when they're difficult, when you're not at your best? Because real love doesn't flake. It doesn't ghost. It doesn't disappear and pop back in when it's convenient. Real love stays, and that kind of consistency, that's a sign of a real man. Now let's talk about a different kind of strength. Sign number 4. He isn't threatened by your success, he celebrates it. Here's something that might surprise you. A lot of people say they want a strong woman, until she actually shows up. Because the truth is, not every man can handle a woman who knows who she is, who has goals, who has vision, who shines. But a real man, a man who truly loves you, he's not intimidated by your brilliance. He's inspired by it. He doesn't see your success as competition. He sees it as something to admire, support, and celebrate. He'll be in the front row, clapping the loudest. He'll be the one telling others how proud he is of you, even when you're outshining him in that moment. Why? Because real love isn't jealous. It's generous. Let me tell you a story. Jasmine had been working for years to grow her own business. It took sacrifice, long nights, rejection, and self-doubt. But eventually, she made it. She was featured in major publications, invited to speak at conferences, recognized for her brilliance, and her partner, Marcus. He never once told her to slow down, never hinted that her ambition made her less feminine. He drove her to the airport when she had to travel, helped rehearse her speeches, took pictures in the audience like a proud fan. He even celebrated her on the days she out-earned him. Why? Because her success wasn't a threat. It was a win for both of them. Now contrast that with another kind of man. The one who makes little comments like, "Wow, you're working late again," or "Must be nice getting all that attention," or worse, the one who tries to subtly dim your light so you won't fly too far away. That's not love. That's control dressed up in concern. Here's the bottom line. A man who truly loves you wants you to soar. And he knows that your glow doesn't take away from his, it adds to both of you. He pushes you to go after the things that scare you. He tells you, apply for that promotion. He says, start that business. And when you win, he's not just proud, he's grateful to witness it. So here's your heart check. Does the man in your life uplift your growth? Does he cheer you on without insecurity creeping in? Or do you feel like you have to shrink to keep the peace? Because real love wants you at full power, and the right man. He won't just tolerate your success, he'll celebrate it every single time. Sign number 5. He's honest. Even when it's hard. You want to know one of the greatest signs that a man truly loves you? He tells you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it would be easier to lie, to avoid, to sugarcoat. Because here's the thing, honesty is love's anchor. Without it, everything else, trust, security, intimacy, it all slowly crumbles. Now, I'm not talking about brutal honesty, where someone uses truth as a weapon. I'm talking about courageous honesty, the kind that says, I respect you too much to pretend. The kind that says, you deserve the full truth, even if it's hard to say or hard to hear. Real men aren't afraid of hard conversations. They don't hide behind silence. They don't disappear when things get tense. They lean in. They own their mistakes. They admit when they're wrong. They don't let their ego block the connection. There's a story that always sticks with me. A couple, Lisa and Jay, had been together for a few years. One day, Jay made a mistake. He didn't cheat, but he crossed a line emotionally, texted someone in a way that wasn't right. He could have deleted the texts and buried it. Lisa might have never found out, but Jay didn't do that. He sat down, looked her in the eye, and said, I crossed a line. I didn't do right by you, and I need to be honest about it. He didn't blame her. He didn't minimize it. He didn't spin it into a half-truth. He told the whole story and took full responsibility. Now, was Lisa hurt? Absolutely. Did it take time to rebuild trust? Of course. But here's what that moment did do. It laid a foundation. Because in that moment, Jay showed her that even in his failure, he was a man of integrity. He didn't hide from his flaws, he brought them into the light. And over time, that honesty became the turning point in their relationship. You see, love isn't perfect. People mess up, they fall short. But what a man does in those moments reveals the truth of his love. Does he lie to keep the peace? Or tell the truth because he values the relationship more than his comfort? Honesty creates safety. It tells you, you can trust me with your heart, even when things get messy. And it's not just about confessions, it's also about transparency. The way he talks about his past, his feelings, his fears, his intentions. A real man doesn't make you guess where you stand. He communicates clearly, because he knows uncertainty breeds anxiety. And if he loves you, he won't feed your anxiety. He'll speak life into it. So ask yourself, does he hide behind vagueness, or does he speak truth, even when his voice shakes? Because love without truth isn't love. And the man who gives you his honesty, he's giving you his heart. Now let's talk about one last sign, and it's one that speaks without words. Sign number 6. He makes you feel loved, without you having to ask. Let me say this loud and clear. You should not have to beg to be loved. You shouldn't have to constantly explain what you need. You shouldn't feel like loving you is a chore on someone else's to-do list. When a man truly loves you, he'll make you feel it without you having to ask. Now, I'm not saying he's a mind reader. Communication matters, but over time, love learns. Love pays attention. Love adapts. A real man, he doesn't wait for a meltdown to show affection. He doesn't only show up when you finally break down crying. He watches. He listens. He remembers the small things. How you like your coffee. That your love language is quality time. That you don't like loud environments when you're anxious. That you feel safest when someone holds your hand in public. He notices because he cares. There's a man I know, he writes his wife a handwritten note every Monday morning. Nothing fancy, just a few lines about why he loves her, or something sweet he noticed that week. They've been married 17 years. I asked him once, "Why do you still do that?" He said, "Because I never want her to wonder how I feel." I want her to feel it before she ever has to ask. That's love. Love that takes initiative. Love that shows up in the ordinary. Love that doesn't require a prompt or a breakdown or a checklist. Now again, no one is perfect. We all have blind spots. But you know the difference between someone who's trying and someone who's coasting. When a man loves you, he wants to show you. He wants you to feel secure, seen, chosen. He wants you to walk through the world knowing there is someone, somewhere, who always has your back. So ask yourself, do you constantly have to remind him how to love you? Or does he take it upon himself to learn you, study you, and act on it? Do you feel like an afterthought? Or do you feel prioritized, daily, in quiet ways? Because love is not just a feeling, it's a pattern. And the pattern of a real man's love, it shows up before you even have to speak. Conclusion. The legacy of a real man's love. Let's bring this full circle. You made it all the way here, and that tells me something. It tells me that you care about love that's real, love that lasts, love that doesn't just look good on the outside, but feels right on the inside. So let's take a breath together and remember what we've uncovered. Real love isn't loud. It's not always obvious. It doesn't always come with fireworks or flawless Instagram captions, but it shows up in the quietest, strongest, most unforgettable ways. A man who truly loves you. He protects you even when it's inconvenient. He respects your voice, even when you disagree. He shows up consistently, not just when it's easy. He celebrates your success instead of being threatened by it. He's honest even when it's hard. And he makes you feel loved without needing to be reminded. These 6 signs. They aren't theories. They aren't fantasies. They are the evidence of a heart that's invested. They are the behavior of a man who's not just in love with you, but committed to loving you well. And maybe, right now, you're listening to this with a lump in your throat. Because deep down, you know you haven't been getting this kind of love. Or maybe you have and you needed this reminder not to take it for granted. Or maybe you're still waiting for it to arrive. Wherever you are on that spectrum, I want you to hear me. You are worthy of a love that doesn't make you question yourself. You are worthy of a love that doesn't leave you guessing. You are worthy of a love that shows up, not just in the beginning, but all the way through. And to the men listening right now, if you want to be that kind of man, start here. Be honest. Be consistent. Be someone who brings peace, not pressure. It's not about having it all together. It's about being willing to grow, to listen, to show up with intention. Because real men don't run from depth, they lean into it. Real men don't fear emotion, they make space for it. And real men don't withhold love, they give it freely, fiercely, and without hesitation. Let me leave you with this. Real love isn't perfect. It has its moments, its doubts, its missteps, but you'll know it. Not because it makes you feel butterflies, but because it makes you feel safe. It's the calm in your chaos, the strength in your struggle, the presence in your silence. So don't settle for loud love that disappears. Wait for the quiet kind that never leaves. And when you find it, whether in someone else or in yourself, honor it, because that is the kind of love that builds forever. Thanks for being here with me today. If this message stirred something in you, sit with it, revisit it, share it, because somewhere out there, someone else is wondering what real love looks like. Now, you know, and you deserve nothing less. Until next time, take care of your heart. It's more powerful than you think.